Alright, so for lateral we need P and H. So remember, perimeter is of the base. Okay? So if you look, the bases are triangles. You have this side and you have this side, but to do perimeter you also need this side. It's a right triangle. So you can either do Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or you can realize that if these two are the same, then these two angles are the same, and this must be a 45, 45, 90. If you do it that way, it saves you even more time, because remember, it's x square root of 2 for 45, 45, 90. So if x is 5, then this is 5 square root of 2. So that makes the perimeter pretty easy. And you'll get the same thing if you did Pythagorean theorem. It's just remember 45, 45, 90s are a shortcut. So you have perimeter is 5 plus 5, which is 10, plus that 5 square root of 2. Okay? Do not put those together. I hadn't seen a lot of people doing it, but I have seen some people saying that this would be like 15 square root of 2. Remember, they only add if they match. This one doesn't have a square root. Okay? And then the height is always the distance between the bases. So that's 10. But even if it was laying on a different side, height isn't always up and down. It's always base to base. So think of your height. If you lay on the floor, you don't all of a sudden become 8 inches tall. It's still foot to head when you're measuring your height. So it's kind of like on here, it's facing the right way, but like if you look at that triangle, the height isn't 2, the height is still 10 because it's base to base. Okay? So for the lateral, it's just P times H. So you're just multiplying both of these numbers by the 10, P times H. So what's 10 times 10? 100. And then what's 5 times 10? So you got 50 square root of 2. Now it does tell you can round these. So you can put in your calculator 100 plus 50 square root of 2. And, not minus, equal. So it's 170.71. So 170.71. And this is in yards squared because yards is the unit here. And remember, surface area is always squared. So for total surface area, you have the pH plus 2b. Well, we already have pH. We got that answer. So we just really need the 2b, right? What did big B stand for? Do y'all remember?
Base times 2.
Well, big B, every shape would be a different what B is, but like what does it stand for? If you look here, big B stands for the area of the base. So the base is a triangle. So how do you find area of a triangle?
Hold on. I know this. We literally did this yesterday.
And we did it all unit last unit.
Area of a triangle is it's length times hold on, it's something height and then divided by 2.
Yeah, it's base times height divided by 2.
Yeah.
Now there's 2 bases here, so we have to double that, right?
Correct.
Now keep in mind, if you're doubling and you're dividing by 2, those cancel, so that really makes it easy. Our base and our height are both 5. Because remember, this is the right angle. So our 2 bases make 5 times 5, which is 25. So that's all we have to add to this. We will do this plus 25, right? So what's 100 plus 25? Yeah. And you still have the 50 square root of 2. So we're going to round that just like we did the other one. 125 plus the 50 square root of 2. Or I could have just added what I already had rounded here, just added 25 to it. Because I already had that. Either way. But I get the 195.71.
Yeah.
Do you see how that's just 25 more? Alright. So like I said, this one was the hardest of the 3 that we haven't already went over in another class. So I'm not saying you have to, but if you feel like you need more help, watch the other videos where we go over. I will tell you 1, 4, and 8, which is one of the videos. Those are the harder ones. So if you feel like you're probably not going to watch all of it, watch those first. Okay?
I know what me and Jim did wrong Instead, we
Well,
didn't.
I told you I didn't know if it was wrong because she didn't turn hers in. She
Right,
still had hers.
No, that's not what I got. But what we did, the only work that was different was instead of keeping the 10 and the 5 square or the 5 square root of 2 separate, I had 15 square root of 2.
Yeah. And I mentioned that some people put 15. But remember, you can only add these two if they're like. This one's just a number. This one has a square root, so they're not like terms. Okay? And remember, this one's a cube. So your formulas for cubes were real easy. 4 times s squared. S is just the side length. Or 6 times s squared. And then this one's 7. It's the only other one that hasn't been worked out today. It's just like 9, except for, what's 6?
That is the diameter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the radius?
3.
3. So with that, it's just like 9. So once you watch the video that has 9, because remember, cylinders are actually easier because you just plug everything right in with the radius and the height. Alright, so between the one y'all just asked for and the ones that other classes asked for, y'all should be good to go.
Should have 100.
Yeah.